Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. But in this video, I'm actually going to talk a lot about yesterday's video. Because when I made the video where I was talking about having a chip under your skin in the future, and that's exactly what the World Economic Forum is pushing for. Some people in the comments said, that's never going to happen. There's no facts to back that up. Well, not only am I going to show you the facts, but I'm going to show you what a CBDC of the future actually looks like, what their vision of it actually is. But I'm going to start with this. The IRS uses CoinMarketCap for pricing data, but it wants more options. You know what I noticed lately? There's a lot of talk about the IRS and crypto. I think this anti-crypto army is going to try to weaponize the IRS against the crypto space the same way right now they're weaponizing the SEC against the crypto space as well. Why? Because they think me and you are money launderers. And they want to make sure they get every tax dollar they possibly can out of crypto. And then think about why they want to push for digital IDs in the future. I have a digital wallet, you have a digital wallet. I send you a payment under a CBDC, cashless society. In the middle is the IRS taking their tax dollars before the money even goes from my wallet to your wallet. They're going to be the mediator, making sure that every tax dollar is accounted for. You mean this? Buy-chip microchip implant is now implementing Ripple payment systems in the product. This means that the microchip owners will not be needing to connect their microchip to their bank accounts anymore. This was all the talk not so long ago. And people said that's crazy. That's never going to happen, right? Well, take a listen to this right here.
Central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant, RFID chip, to be implanted under your skin. And why is there sudden discussion about universal basic income from all the grassroots and inverted commas movements and billionaires? Oh, universal basic income is the bribe for you to accept the microchip.
The Federal Reserve is considering a digital dollar. The implications for privacy and freedom are frightening. But central bank digital money is ominous. The downside of governments being able to track digitally every single product or service you buy and sell is chilling.
The third way we think CBDC can improve financial inclusion is through what we call programmability.
Most people don't want to know what's in the vaccines.
But yet when we open it almost 2 years into this, we find that it still says intentionally blank.
In fact, nobody wants to know what's in the vaccines because, look, if people understood what was in the vaccine, they'd go apeshit.
And you see, the difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take genetic editing, right. Just as an example, it's you who are changed. Yeah. And of course, this has a big impact on your identity.
I mean, COVID makes it accelerates the process of digitalization and automatization, and it makes surveillance go under your skin.
This is Richard Werner, the top academic scholar in the world on central banking.
The nature of this CBDC, what is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that. Right. But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. He saw it. And he was around this large and would be implanted under your skin.
So a CBDC is actually an implant that they're going to put into you. That's how you're going to buy things in the future. And you know, one thing I want to point out is that when we talk about the Mark of the Beast system, and I've seen so many comments over time, you know, when I first started this channel, I never, ever wanted to get into this at all. But then as I started reading your comments and people said, you need to look in this direction, and I went in that direction, I realized that these elites, these people are so money driven. And these people, I think, are very evil people at the same time. I think they're trying to usher in the end times now. So Nigeria, first country to introduce the wonderful CBDC fresh water, a human right, is only available through an RFID chip card. So what happens when they don't comply, or are late on a bill, or said something that the government doesn't agree with? Buy water supply. Take a look at this. This is the future. Do you take notice how she had to use the card to turn on the water supply? And they want to tokenize water in the future. They want to tokenize every single thing around us. Digital ID placed under the skin. Microsoft patent 2020 060606. People think 5G is for cell phones. Microsoft has patented a system that uses human biometrics such as body heat and brainwave activity to mine cryptocurrency. The patent, filed under international patent number WO 2020 060606, entitled Cryptocurrency System Using Body Data Activity, leverages human body activity as proof of work. And you know, I think a lot of these patents that they came up with over time were all tied in around the same time COVID was happening, and they were just getting passed through. They didn't even care what they were really about. A lot of things got passed through because of COVID at the same time. Now we're going to talk about the Ukraine. And you know, I look at it like this. Zelensky sold his people out, and he continues to sell them out even until today. Ukraine, the testbed for digital ID and all-encompassing government services apps. So elites plan for digital ID, central bank digital currencies, and a green post-war economy proliferate in Ukraine as conflict rages, manifesting in Ukraine's DIA app, the Hervania, a corporate takeover of Ukraine's war efforts and prospective reconstruction, and other efforts that signal a fourth industrial revolution rollout, outlining these efforts and who's behind them. And when you take a look at this, you look at the companies behind it as well. BlackRock's going big over there right now. But guess who else is? Stellar. They're working on a CBDC over there. And why do you think the U.S. is sinking so much money into the Ukraine? So is the U.K. They're using it to test digital IDs. They're using it to test CBDCs. I think we're going to see all of this roll out there long before it rolls out in any of these other countries. The state in a smartphone. And now we want to share with you what they built with the world. Ukraine seems to be playing a pivotal role in rolling out digital ID and digital transformation of governments. So they're already getting into the cell phones, and they're tracking people over there. And they're using this data to see how they could use it in other countries as well. Ukraine is a honeypot of information on the digital ID. USAID is the ones exporting it out. And I showed this before. Features of Joy's identity: name, address, date of birth, place of birth, group membership, physical description, biometric features, qualifications, reputation. Capturing Joy's identity features to create identity systems. So voter ID, beneficiary ID, employee ID. Like I always told you, everything about you is going to be stored in that digital ID in the future. And they're going to control you through that digital ID. Now, BlackRock and JP Morgan helped set up Ukraine Reconstruction Bank. Why do you think they're over there? They want to make sure that they make all the money off of this as everything advances over there. You know, everybody is looking at the Ukraine like this helpless little country that's being attacked by Russia. I think it all happened by design. Look at the people that are tied into the Ukraine. Soros, World Economic Forum. Now we have the US and the UK using it as a testing ground at the same time. I don't think people are taking this central bank digital currency push seriously, and I don't think so either. People are looking at Congress as the savior. Stop telling yourself that Congress has to approve of it. No, they don't. Do you see them approving or disapproving FedNow's payments? Entities like BlackRock and State Street will dictate who issue that in the end. And that's who controls our politicians, the big corporations. And guess who BlackRock works with? The World Economic Forum. So what's the real plan behind Fed now? And this is probably the greatest video I have seen all day, because this guy lays it out. It's all about eliminating the banks. And think about it. If you have no bank in the future, what do you have to rely on? A central bank digital currency. Take a listen.
The Federal Reserve is now going directly into business to compete with American businesses in delivering money. So you will have instant transfer of cash, instant. The moment a bank transfers money, let's say, bank wire. How long does it usually take on a bank wire? So it could be a day, it could be hours. Not now. With FedNow, it's instant. The moment the send button is pushed, the recipient has the money instantly. And so it's going to change the way money is transferred.
And not only that, but it's one less step that the government has to take now to monitor what you pay and what you're doing, what area you're in based on your purchases.
Because the Fed's doing it for you now.
Exactly. Before, they would have to request it from Zelle, they have to request it from that, get the information. Now they know it already. They don't have to even bother for it.
That's a very good observation.
They're going to pair the digital coin with it too, and now they'll get a whole picture, a better picture of what you're doing, who you are, and they can probably garner other information from that.
I think the Fed plan is to eliminate all banks and that you will only have an account with the Fed. That's ultimate control. I mean, why would you need, if you have a central bank digital coin, a CBDC, there's no paper money left. There's no gold money, no silver money. It's just all funny money in an imaginary coin. Why do you need a bank? Are you going to go to your local bank and say, here, I have some imaginary coins, I'd like to deposit them. Or I'd like to withdraw some imaginary coins. You don't need a bank anymore.
No.
If money can transfer from one institution to another instantly, why do I need to go to a bank to wire funds? See, I don't need a bank anymore. If a mortgage, see, I think you're going to get your mortgage from the Federal Reserve. They'll hold your house. They'll own your house. This is where they're going. The Federal Reserve.
When I seen that, it makes so much sense. Because think about it. Once we go to a digital system, there's no need for your local bank. And you will have to rely on the Fed for everything. You'll have to rely on the government for everything. And when they give out that universal basic monthly income, people are going to cheer for that, because now they have all the time to do whatever they want to do until they realize that it's full control over everything that they buy. And the elites will use us, like once they start issuing carbon credits, they will use us to give us carbon credits on a monthly basis. Then they'll come in and they'll buy those carbon credits from you, keeping you poor while they do all the things they ever wanted to do. Again, why I always said you need to enrich yourself while you still can. And I look at XRP as your last shot. I look at this as our last opportunity to make real money. So in the past 4 months, the U.S. has seen the second largest bank collapse in history, and the third largest, and the fourth largest. Now is the time to prevent banks from being too big to fail, not to greenlight more and more mergers. But the problem is, they want those mergers to happen. They want to keep consolidating until you have one world currency, one world bank, one world religion, one world government. Do you see how everything is happening? Right now, it's happening in front of your eyes, and yet so many people are blind to it. XRP is the new quantum financial system. This is much bigger than me or you realize. This is not hype. This is history. It is the level playing field for the global reset button. It's the only option. And I've said it myself time and time again on this channel that XRP is the greatest cryptocurrency for cross-border payments. But it's so much bigger than that. It's the trust layer in between two CBDCs in the future. It's a bridge currency to bridge all the world's currencies together. That's how big this actually is. And people see it as words, But this is massive. This is so big. It's a global event. And guess what? You're invested in it. And you need to stay invested into it so you can enrich yourself. So your future will be far different from the guy who's sitting in his house, owning nothing, renting houses from the Fed in the future, most likely. And BlackRock, again, will have their hand in that pot. Why do you think they're buying up all these houses all of a sudden? And it's been going on for quite a while. They're controlling the real estate. They're controlling every aspect of your life. Yet all these Bitcoin maxis see BlackRock as the savior of Bitcoin. Are you kidding me? These people could care less about me or you at all. BlackRock coming into crypto right now, to me, looks like a dark horse. It looks like a Trojan horse. And I've been watching it for a while now to see where this is going. But again, I will never invest in Bitcoin. Now that BlackRock is on the scene, Bitcoin is even more of just a currency that I will never want to hold. And, you know, I wanted to do this video to point this out. So all the time that we've been imagining a central bank digital currency as something like a building somewhere, a central bank like the federal building, here, it's something that's going to end up inside of you. That's what they picture for you in the future. And like I said, I will die before I take that chip. I'll see you in the next one. I appreciate all of you. And I want to thank you all for watching. Have a great night.